My name is Monica Madrid, and we are here with the Football is Sexy squad, and week 6 is in the books, baby.
Done.
Wow.
So exciting.
Done.
Wow.
A good week.
This was a
exciting
good week. This was, the week before was a little
plateau.
But this one went sky high.
Well, good is a relative
Sky high
term.
and sky low.
Sky high, depending on who you like.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
we gotta first say one thing. You guys look fire.
Oh,
I like
thank
the all
you.
black.
I
I like the all black. But
like your black and gold, including your shoes.
Yes, black and gold representing. But let's get right into the Monday night game.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys pulled it out.
I was thinking about you all night, Sanaz.
It wasn't easy, and I have a lot to say, but I'm going to let you start since the Chargers are your team.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dak was coming off literally one of the worst games he's ever had previous weeks. This matchup was weird. Even before the game, I don't know if everybody saw there was like a fight. Like people were already in a negative
chippy.
energy.
It's a chippy
it's all
week.
chippy now. I don't know if it's because hockey started this week, but everyone's like, let's get into
For
this.
our new fans, can we just clarify? Because I know the first time I heard the word chippy, I was like, what? I'm sorry.
Really?
What did you just, what did you just say? Chippy is just like when they start to get mouthy and confrontational and a little aggressive on the field. And it's just like that. When tensions are high, I guess, right? Is the way to describe it.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy you're here to do that for me. So yeah, I mean, they were arguing already. It wasn't a bad game from Herbert. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like he still had 2 touchdowns. I think he had like 227 yards. It wasn't bad, but like
It wasn't great.
Brandon Staley, what are you doing?
That is a
I don't know what it is with us on 4th downs. We're like, let's just go for it.
Mhm.
Let's just always go for it. You know, you gave up 3 easy points we could have had. And then, you know, you're always looking to our defense to save your butt.
Yeah.
And they always are. And then, you know, Lamb had a great game. He had 7 receptions for 117 yards. Cook, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys, my friend. He showed up this week.
Yeah.
It was just a really rough game to watch. Chargers offensively, I don't think Herbert had as much protection as he needed.
Right.
And I don't know, dude. Like Bosa is just so wishy-washy right now. I'm going to just say we have the worst Bosa brother. You know, you guys got the good one. It sucks.
Wow.
But I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying between the two.
Well, there's no,
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
Nick Bosa is on another level.
Right.
But even Nick isn't putting up the numbers that he put up last year.
No.
But let's talk about, hold on, because this is going to go into last night, okay? Dallas, to all the Dallas fans this weekend, it was like all of their birthdays at once. Like all the Dallas fans, it was like, happy birthday. The Niners lost, the Eagles lost, and then you pulled out the W.
Oh, yeah.
It's like happy birthday to all my Dallas fans, right?
Yeah.
I won't even get into that yet, but boy, does my phone start going off when the Niners lose.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to text me when they win, but
No.
they sure like to text me when they
Well,
lose.
we're checking in on you.
It's okay. No, we're going to get into that, but I want to first get into Dallas a little bit more. You know, Dallas, to me, that was a must-win game for them.
Yeah.
Coming off the loss to the Niners, it was really important, not just numbers-wise, but mentally. Dak had to pull out the win. He had to.
But he didn't have a great game. He had 1 touchdown, 272 yards. I'm just saying, like,
It's not great.
it wasn't a great game.
No,
It was
I
until
agree.
the very end. It was until the the fourth quarter that we
Right.
were like, well, who is going to take the game? I mean,
Thank
it
you.
was literally.
Thank you for being honest about that.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't a blowout.
It wasn't a beatdown.
No.
It wasn't
Make
a
that clear.
beatdown. It was one of those, nobody showed out.
No.
Nobody should be talking great mess this week.
No.
And I'll tell you, I love you, but as I know you're a Charger fan, but when I'm watching Herbert, which you often say the future,
I do.
you do say the future, and all I kept thinking was, maybe not.
He doesn't have an O-line that's helping him right now. And then you get Eckler back after being gone, and you're hoping for fresh legs, and there were no fresh legs. He was just a non-issue. The Cowboys defense did a great job of stopping the run game.
He didn't even look confident. Like
No.
I didn't see, did you? I did not see confidence in Herbert last night. And you're playing in your home stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
think
didn't-
He just
he just
felt
didn't-
like he didn't have any support. I think he just felt like, I think he did feel defeated, that like he can only do so much.
Like I'm just one for, especially as a quarterback, as a leader. And maybe it's because they're not panning to, but I love seeing quarterbacks go to their O-line or the defense and go over there and hype them up and be like, we got the, like, I want to see that from my guy, but maybe he's just like a surfer dude and he's just chill and,
Well,
you know, I don't know. So
it was a rough week for quarterbacks, in my opinion. I think
Oh.
a lot of quarterbacks had a rough time this week.
they
Right.
did.
Between injuries and just not showing up. I mean, you had Tannehill with an injury, Fields with an injury, Jimmy G with an injury.
Yeah.
Just to name a few. Oh, Lawrence had an injury. And then you had quarterbacks who just didn't do much, like Herbert and like
Jalen Hurts. But wait, before we get there,
I know.
let's because
So hard to stay on topic.
I know, but to your point, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Sunday, the average points across the board
Okay.
was like 18.4.
Wow.
What does that tell us? One, that the QBs didn't have such a great day, and two, the defense.
It's actually
The
stepping up.
defensive teams are stepping up this
They
year,
are.
and it's really cool to see. You know,
Course, yeah.
but let's get to it. Let's
All
get
right.
to my boys.
All right, here we
Let's get to the loss. We queued it up. What did Monica say last podcast, Sanaz?
She said she was a little worried.
Yeah. And what did you say? And I said,
I said there'd be some elf magic sprinkled on the field.
and I said, don't
Don't
jinx
jinx
us.
us. And I
So I
heard-
put this loss on you.
I
Zip it.
the echo of I just reheard that conversation, and it was like a bad dream, like a nightmare of just like, don't jinx us, elf magic, don't jinx us.
Okay.
And it's because you made fun of the mascot.
Here's the thing.
Oh, okay, go. You go.
Wouldn't you rather lose to a team like the Browns?
100%.
And be like, we got it out of the way.
Listen. As soon as we lost, I put up a video on our page, and I looked straight at everybody. And shockingly enough, I wasn't upset. I'll let you know when I'm upset. You'll know when I'm upset. If that was a playoff game, I'd be beside myself. It was not a playoff game.
Yeah.
We're talking about early in the season.
Yeah.
The Browns have a good defense.
Great.
And everyone was like, but you lost to an XFL court. Dude, calm down. Okay. PJ Walker might not be, an elite quarterback, but he didn't blow us up either, but he did enough
Exactly.
to get the win. And I'm sorry, I would rather lose to him than to Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's for personal reasons.
Or to death.
And I'll just say it. I just don't think he should be in the league. But besides that, I like Myles Garrett. I love the Browns for being, and especially the fans, they have not had a lot to cheer about in decades.
Mhm.
So if I'm going to lose to anybody and it's the Browns, I can live with that. Now, do I like to lose? Absolutely not. And then all these people started chiming in on our post. You don't want to go undefeated? And I'm like, no, I don't really care about
Who
undefeated
cares about that?
unless it includes the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
to I think I looked it up. The last 10 seasons, all the Super Bowl winners never went undefeated. And in fact,
No.
I only think one team went undefeated and won the Lombardi, and that was the 1972 Miami Dolphins, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so that says a lot. This is a league that any given Sunday.
Yeah.
So to go undefeated and raise the Lombardi, that's not going to be an easy feat.
Between the two, you know what you want. And
Right,
it's to win
right.
what really counts.
100%.
What was it like in your house?
There was my 8-year-old cried. There were some tears. There's
Oh, he cried. Roman cried. He's a Niner fan.
He's a Niner fan.
You raised
he
him
takes
right.
it so seriously. It is his heart, and so
Mm.
he is like invested, like he's an owner in the team. And so it was high emotions, high expectations, and so it was a little rough.
You
It was
know,
a little rough.
I
in our
don't
house.
blame you guys too much because here's the thing: the Browns brought the physicality. They
Yeah.
did.
They
Defensively,
started
brought the
fighting
physicality.
before the game too.
Yeah, and then that
Another chippy
physicality
game.
adds to it. You have injuries with McCaffrey, Debo had an injury, and then the weather. The weather's always sucky, man.
Here's what was annoying because and I do want to read the stat. So that broke our 15 regular game winning streak. It was Brock's first loss. It was Brock's first INT this year.
Mhm.
And Kittle, who had 3 touchdowns last week, had 1 yard.
Yeah.
1 catch,
Wow.
1 yard. So Brock right now is 23 touchdowns and 5 INTs in between last season and now. But he still leads the league in QBR.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, because I've been on Brock.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching Brock play from day one. This is not, I'm watching the highlights and coming up. I have watched every game, and you will go back to all the podcasts. I'm telling you, this guy is going to be a guy that's going to be an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
And I stand by that just because he had a bad game. But I did look, I was looking at the wet field and everything. So I looked at, I'm like, doesn't it rain in Iowa? Like, it rains in Iowa.
Ohio.
Oh, no, he's from Iowa.
Oh, I thought you were, okay.
No, Brock. Yeah. So I was like, okay, what I'd like to see now, and this is what I think the Niners got some humble pie early.
Mhm.
And I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'd rather it now than later. I don't want to
playoffs.
peak too early and then it's just downhill from there.
Yes.
I'm good with this. But I would really like Kyle and whoever else, like, can we throw Brock some wet balls?
Yeah.
Like, can we, you know what I mean? Like, let it rain. You guys play the loud music. Get ready, prepared for the stadiums, the Seahawks stadiums of the world. Let's put some rain on Brock.
Yeah.
I can't have
Take out a hose. Let's bring out a hose.
Let's bring out the
shower him
hose.
down.
I can't have
when
you
it's
slipping.
cold, that ball gets a lot harder.
It does.
Okay?
It
That's
does.
a huge deal.
It does.
I mean, that's why Deflategate happened with
Yeah.
the Patriots.
Yeah.
When it's cold,
Yeah.
that ball is like a rock.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget, speaking of our kicker, Jake Moody, rookie,
Oh,
Ricky,
That's where
kicker.
it all. Yeah.
He missed 2 field goals.
I know.
And we had an INT. So, to sit there and like some people will be like, oh, the Niners and blah, blah, blah. Dude, turnovers will never win a game.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had 2 missed field goals.
Yeah.
And Brock still did what he's supposed to do. He got us in position to actually win the game.
Yeah.
And Jake, by the way, I feel really bad for Jake. I kind of wanted to hug him. The
Mom and you is coming out.
Yeah, I'm not a mom, but I'm a J-Lo mom,
You're J-Lo
right?
mom,
And
yes.
so my little dog, J-Lo. Hi, J-Lo. But Jake Moody flew his whole family in.
Oh.
So they were all there. But the good news is they were all there to hug him after
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah. Exactly. He needed that.
He probably needed some family around him
Yeah,
after
he
missing
needed a group
too.
hug after that.
So
Well,
it is what it is.
what do we got next?
By the way, they are playing Minnesota next Monday.
I know. We're
And-
gonna have some words.
And I have to tell you, as a diehard Prince fan as well as a Niner fan, I love that they were playing Prince songs to promote that game next Monday. And
Super
nobody
cool.
probably knows that but me. But I was like, oh, that's Push from Prince. Play it. Because Prince is from Minneapolis.
Yes. Yes. So cool.
Oh, we're going to
Lots
talk
of
about
purple.
Yes. Are we going to talk about the other losers? Eagles?
Oh, yes.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Here's the thing. I think I said it already. They're not a team that looked 5-0. They've been squeaking by getting wins.
Well, they're, yeah.
Jalen Hurts, 3 picks.
3.
And as soon as the Niners lost, weren't you like, I hope the Eagles lost? As soon as I realized that we were I was like, the Eagles have to lose. Like, that was my next
That was the first thing.
next thought was
Yep.
the Eagles have to lose. So
Yep.
I was so happy.
Well, and with that game,
That would have been a bad day.
Yes, that would have been horrible.
It came down to Jets defense again. Salas is such a defensive-minded coach. I love that about him. He has this quote where he's like, "We might not have beat every quarterback,
Oh.
but we embarrassed them."
Wait, no. And he said when he said gauntlet of quarterbacks, I'm like, come on, but
Yeah,
bring
but
it down. Don't get
Defensively, they
crazy.
showed up.
Hey, I thought the Jets win was amazing. There was a lot of green on the field. It was like the green field, and the Eagles are green, and the Jets are green. There's a lot of green going on. But what I say again last podcast, I said I actually like the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, and I'm probably only person in the world to say that.
I know.
But I actually stand by that.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see our little boy Zach and the team get the win.
He's
Now,
really
now
maturing.
did they?
Every week he's just maturing.
You see how happy he was in the tunnel when people were cheering? He was almost like, for me?
I know.
Like,
You know what?
But
Shocked.
his ego has come from sky high entitled to, oh my gosh, they're cheering. for
Yeah.
me.
Good.
That was a big,
Good.
that was
Good.
some humble pie.
But the defense was on point.
it was.
And, Robert Saleh, which I'll always take credit for, came from the Niners. He was our
Yes.
defensive coach. I love him.
Yeah.
And I just like to see, I'm always about an underdog, as long as it's not the Cowboys
Same.
and as long as,
as long as the Jets without Aaron
I'm just saying.
Rodgers.
but let's talk about Aaron for a second. He's on the
oh
field.
my God.
Oh,
no
Lord.
boot, no crutches. He's saying he's coming back this
He's
year.
claiming this is going to be indifferent.
You know what my response to that
recovery.
is? You did not tear your ACL. You're telling me you tore your ACL and you're walking around without a boot? Who are you?
Unprecedented recovery.
are you?
So they had a doctor
Yeah.
that specializes in that kind of injury.
Oh, okay.
And he said that he was mortified to see him like that, that if he does one little thing, it will ruin his career. Like the doctor was saying this is ridiculous. There's no way he should be there. But Mr. Ayahuasca, who knows what he's doing behind the scenes to fix
Absolutely.
that.
Therapy,
Who knows?
mushrooms.
But I do want to give you guys a couple of stats on this. I mean, Jalen Hurts literally had 3 INTs.
Yeah, no, I said that.
He went 28 for 45.
Yep.
And 280 yards.
Mhm.
Zach Wilson had 0 INTs.
I know.
INTs are
Interceptions. That means you threw it to the right guys. And he went 19 for 33, 186 yards. And it was the first time that the Jets, I had to look that. I'm like, how is that possible? It was the first time the Jets ever beat the Eagles.
Ever.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is
Like
insane.
I know it was all over social media but I was like, how can that happen? And sure enough, I was like, wow, like they had their number. So that was like a big
That
win.
must have felt so good for them,
I mean,
right?
so the whole thing is, do you think Aaron's going to come back and save the day?
No.
No,
Immediately no.
no. And here's the
No.
thing. I just, Aaron, let's say they're doing enough to get us to the playoffs, to get them to the playoffs.
Okay.
And then poor Zach going to get kicked out of his job and have Aaron. And if Aaron loses, that's going to be then
When.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like now I feel like just
Hard,
take the season
Melissa.
off, Aaron.
Hard.
Just take the season off.
Can't come back
Maybe
from that
come
kind
back
of
next year.
injury and
Let Zach let him
Yes.
see what he can do. But
yes.
I'm
agree,
not the
agree.
coach, so
No.
we'll see. And as soon as Aaron's ready, they're going to put him back.
Oh
For
Lord.
sure.
But I know we're going to take it back, but let's take it back to Thursday night.
Okay.
Kansas
Thursday
City.
night.
Well, and the
Chiefs.
reason why I want to bring this up is because these are the top teams right now, right?
Right.
You're talking about Kansas City, the Eagles, the Niners, and Dallas, right?
Yes.
And they barely beat the Broncos
And it was like
with Russell Wilson as quarterback.
yes.
What is happening over there?
And it wasn't because the Chiefs were really better. It's just that the Broncos were so bad. And I just felt like I was watching a competition between two horrible teams. Like it was just neither one was good. There's so many interceptions. It was painful. And as if I were a Chiefs fan, expecting them to perform like last year, a former Super Bowl team, I would be devastated.
They're not scary right now. They did
No.
terrible in the red zone. They had 4 field goals. That means that they were within striking distance to score a touchdown
right.
and instead opted for field goals. That is insane to me. I mean, but again, it's hard to always stay at a certain level.
Mhm.
And the Chiefs have been, the top team. They have the top quarterback, one of the top tight
One of.
ends. And I say that because, I like my boys. But I think right now they're doing enough. But as a fan, I would be a little concerned.
Yeah.
I would be a little concerned because
Yeah.
if you're barely getting by Russell Wilson, who's cooking up not much,
Yeah.
what's going to happen when it comes time to play some really big teams?
And then you talk about Sean Payton and the play sheet and how it was literally out and they picked up on it. They zoomed in both on
What?
network, but also on Prime that they actually showed his entire play sheet. I thought that was
that was
insane.
right. By accident.
By accident,
They showed
right?
they showed his play.
So he was holding his, if you
Sean
didn't watch
Payton.
the game, he was holding
Sean
his
Payton.
clipboard and, usually try to hide from other teams, from whoever, the play sheets. And it was, unintentionally, I'm sure, but just out in the open, the cameras were zoomed in on it. And it was just like, what are you doing? You are not new to this.
Didn't he also call a timeout when they didn't have any timeouts?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm going to blame it on, right?
What?
The visor. You need to put on a normal hat, bro. The visor,
Mix
the
it up.
the
Mix it
visor
up.
coaches, the head coaches that are wearing visors are all losing. I'm just saying. I'm
This
just
is
putting it out
She's
there.
not lying.
By the way, I know you probably didn't see this, but one of the things that was kind of trending was the whole little talk about Chippy. There was like this whole thing between one of the anchors, Stephen Smith Sr., and Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver of Broncos.
Okay, so
They were like literally men,
Haters.
grown men just hating on each other.
But fill us in.
The short version is that Jerry Jeudy hasn't been doing great. And so Steve Smith Sr. Was, I think, on a podcast and was like kind of calling it how he saw it,
Right.
which wasn't in, Mr. Judy's favor.
Oh no.
So I guess and now here they are coming together on the first time because he's doing the broadcasting and, Jerry Judy's running by. And I guess Steve Smith went over there to apologize and be like, hey, I just wanted to kind of apologize before he had a chance to say anything. Jerry Judy was like, nah, I won't say the word, but he said a word and said, I ain't messing with you. And I'm giving you the light version. I ain't, effing with you. And so then that just made Steve Smith even more mad. So then now he's on live air, literally live television. And he's like telling the story. And he's like, yeah, so I was going to apologize for you being a tier 3 wide receiver and and basically threw him right under the bus again. Oh my God. And then he tried reignited. And then in the middle of I'm watching this. And then you see Jerry Judy running behind him, talking
Just
smack.
more.
It's a little much.
The timing is everything. And Smith, like, what are you thinking before a game to be like, oh, let's just use this time? Like, they're in go mode.
Right.
Like, that is not the right time.
Not the time.
It
Not the time.
wasn't.
Not the place.
Yeah,
On
but
the field.
I think he ended up with like 3 touches and 14 yards. So, I mean, we might not
What do you
make
want me to
friends here
say?
either. I don't know. I'm just saying, but we call it how we see it. But yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson had 95 yards, didn't even break 100. And
it was a rough
1
game,
TD
guys.
and 2 interceptions. So, I mean,
It's a weird touch.
it'll be interesting. The good news.
Yeah.
Did we see Taylor?
We did.
No. Oh,
No.
I didn't.
She was there.
Yeah, she was there.
But they didn't go to her a lot.
It was tolerable.
Tolerable.
It wasn't a Taylor Fest. It wasn't the Eras Tour NFL edition.
Yeah. And now they're like really like showing out. She was on SNL. They're
Yes.
holding hands now.
Yes, but fun fact, she was wearing Erin Andrews. She had been a little matchmaker between Taylor and Travis, and she had suggested on her podcast, which is called Calm Down. Shout out to Erin Andrews. That she thought back in August that maybe Taylor and Travis would make a cute couple. So she kind of had initiated this, put it out into the universe, manifested it, if you will, and. So then fast forward to now, she had sent Taylor some of her clothing line that she has called
Smart
Wear.
play.
And she sent her Chiefs gear, obviously knowing that Taylor probably doesn't have much merch, right? And so Taylor showed up in her Erin Andrews jacket.
That was a
It's-
cute jacket.
It was a cute jacket.
Yeah.
It's
It's sold out.
$99, free shipping. if you
Yeah, it's
wanna-
sold out.
The Swifties
We need to give her a
love-
football sexy sweatshirt.
Yes.
That's what needs to
The
happen.
Swifties love to dress like her, so
Yeah.
whatever she wears, it just sells
Okay.
out. So it was. I'm sure Erin Andrews was happy. It was just
I will say this. So for the people out there that are like, this is a money play, this is
Yeah.
a ploy for money. Look, I don't think Taylor Swift is hurting for money. I read a stat
Yes.
for Taylor.
Yeah.
Let's stay with me. Off of the Eras tour, between the movie theater presentations
Yes.
and whatever else, she's going to make $300 billion.
thank you.
Billion.
With a
I don't
B.
think this is a publicity stunt.
I don't think she needs
I think
it.
she's a little girl who's fallen for a football player and she's reliving a little bit of high school and she's having fun.
Yes, she didn't even get to go to high school.
I don't agree.
No?
No,
You
no.
think it's a money thing?
Listen, you think she got there by accident by making stupid decisions? No, I just think it's one of those things where this works for me, works for you, and let's take it to another
Agent
level.
called an agent.
I'm just saying the
arranged it.
agents talk. The
Okay.
NFL's been wanting her forever. The timings, you have to just look at it. We'll never probably know.
Yeah.
But this happens all of there's stories about this stuff since the 1930s and 40s. And people, this is like,
The only thing that gets me is the body language, like how she sits on his lap and
that was like one little shot.
touching it.
I'm one little shot. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, are they going to get married? Probably
Oh, no,
not.
I don't
mean,
think so.
No,
come
no,
on.
No.
No. The revenge song is coming.
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
then
fun.
it's going to be like this big old thing. But here's the thing: the bottom line is, so now we're going to blame Erin Andrews and not the NFL, like we've been blaming. So there's
Yes.
that.
Yes.
But at least the football fans, because I posted, I think it was last week when I said she's back
yeah.
on the Thursday night game.
Yes.
The comments that
Were
some
spicy.
people
I did
got
see some
were
of those.
spicy towards us. And
don't
again,
read 'em.
I'm like, whatever. I don't, me. Do I care? No. I'm gonna always post what I think is relevant, and it was relevant.
It was.
She was back.
It was. Yeah.
And But some people just really have an opinion about this.
Can we
My
talk
Lord.
about a team that was really relevant and isn't anymore?
Ooh.
The New England Patriots.
Oh, painful.
Talk
Another
about
painful.
a team
Painful.
that just is used to winning,
Painful.
a dynasty of winning.
Right.
Bill Belichick came out last week and said, I'm going to make some changes. What changes, Bill?
He still has the visor on. He
I
didn't make
see
the
any
right
changes
change.
this week.
If he would have changed his hat, we might not be here.
A wardrobe change could change
Whatever.
the season.
Look,
is what
I
Monica's
didn't see any
saying.
changes this week out of you, Bill. I don't know what to tell you. You're going up against the Raiders. You know Hoyer. You know Jimmy G. Talk about injury. Jimmy G, another injury, which didn't look bad, but then you hear he's getting ambulance to the hospital. I think he's getting an MRI today, back injury.
Again,
Yeah.
I'm never going to make fun of somebody getting hurt, but as a Niner fan who's watched this happen, you just go, for whatever reason, he has the worst luck.
Yeah.
Like he just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
No, he's a
What
China
is
doll.
happening there?
Yeah.
He's a China doll.
Yeah. He's just a little fragile little.
But the Patriots, going back to that point, we talked about it last podcast. Like, if you're Kraft, do you let Bill Belichick go?
know. Yeah.
And then you look at Mac Jones, right? You're always going to look at your head coach and you're always going to look at your quarterback. Those are
Yeah.
the main reasons usually why you win or why you lose,
Yeah.
right? And they're the first to get the glory and they're the first to get
Yeah.
the shit.
Yeah.
Right? So I looked at Mac Jones and right now he's at 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And regardless of what, why, or how, if you have more interceptions than you have touchdowns,
Right.
that's a problem in this league.
Especially at this point in,
At
we're
this
at a
point,
week going into week 7. Yeah.
You have enough tape to figure out. And you wonder what Tom Brady's thinking right now. Like because we all talk, and we talked a little bit about this last podcast too, is that there was tension between Tom, there was tension between Bill. By the way, one of the Patriots, there was a ton of ex-Patriots on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
I
that's
can't
what
remember
yeah,
his
I just
name.
said that, yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he came out and he's like, he was so mad that Bill Belichick didn't even go over there to say, hi, doing a good job, like nothing. And I'm like, that sounds like the Bill we know.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't seem to be a very personal guy.
No.
I wonder if, we talked about how nobody had Russell Wilson's number as a quarterback for the Seahawks.
Right,
I
he
wonder
called-
who really has Bill's number. Like, I
Mhm.
wonder.
Yeah.
But then you look at like Adams, right? Like
Yeah.
he left Green Bay because he thought he was going to come over to the Raiders and he thought he was going to play with Derek Carr, his buddy.
Mhm.
And then Derek leaves and now Adams is stuck there with Hoyer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just, what do they say? Like, it's like the NFL turns.
Yeah.
Right? Remember,
Yeah.
I mean,
To
it's
look
just,
at the draw every game, every season. You think you can make plans, you can line up your everything, and then
something
the
goes.
quarterback goes out. You don't know.
But what do you think is going to happen for this Patriot team moving forward? Like, are they going to win any other games? I don't remember what they have in front of
I wish
them,
I
but
knew who they were playing.
They have Miami and Buffalo.
ooh.
So the answer
And
is
the
no.
Raiders have the Bears and the Jets and the Lions.
Man.
So it's not looking great. I don't know. I don't know, Bill. And you know what I hate when people say is, oh, well, look at everything he's done. Every year is a new year. Wipe that slate clean. I don't care what you did last year or the year before. This is the new year.
Yeah.
You think if you don't win a Super Bowl this year, people are going to go, it's okay because of what you did a few years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody thinks that. Oh,
No.
I always call it the Janet Jackson thing, right? What have you done for me lately?
Okay.
And right now, the only thing they've done is lose.
Yeah.
Like that's what they do right now. And there's a lot of Boston fans that are actually happy about it because they just were destroyers
Yeah.
when Tom Brady was there. It was just, I remember I was close to a Jets fan and it was like they couldn't wait for Tom Brady to retire because you had no shot when the Patriots were the Patriots. When
Right.
Gronk was there, you had Brady.
Mhm.
I mean, what was it? Welker. I mean, they had these amazing teams, and now I can't tell you one great player on the team. Like
No.
I'm sure there's good players out there, but I can't. There's not an elite player that you're like, oh my
No.
God, he's
and
going
the
to
fans
carry
are
the
awful
team.
quiet too. The fans are awful quiet. I don't hear anybody
They
screaming
have
from
nothing
the
to
rooftops.
say.
Nothing to
They're
say.
used to a culture that's not there right now.
Exactly. Can we contrast this with another team that we didn't think was going to be good. Maybe,
Bring it.
But then can we talk about my Lions?
I was gonna say,
Rawr,
we've been
baby.
waiting.
Get it out.
Get it out.
Get it
Okay,
out.
can we just talk about the fact that they are 5-1, that they are even in the same sentence with teams like the 49ers and the Eagles. The fact that those three like that's even a sentence we can say out loud is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. And they just took the Bucks out 20-6 this week.
And those ugly orange creamsicle jerseys.
Oh my
Should
God.
be illegal.
Yeah,
Should be
those are bad.
illegal.
Those are bad.
Should be illegal, but they are so well coached. It is
You think that's what it is, the coaching? Or what do you think
I
is
really
like
do.
doing this? What's the secret sauce, Melissa?
I really feel like it's the coaching. I feel like that's the real difference between, the last time they were good was like 2011. So between the last 10 years, what's really changed substantially? And I think it's bringing Dan Campbell in. And it took a couple of years. You don't just bring a coach in and then magic happens, they wave a wand, but he's made some structural changes. We saw a little bit on Hard Knocks, and I think it's just the way in which he speaks to his team. He speaks all of that very much like you were saying about a quarterback. He brings that those words to them every single week.
They believe.
That
Well, he's a player
belief.
too.
Yes, and I think that is a huge component to it.
Yeah.
Maybe unlike Belichick, he can actually go in there and he's telling them what he knows they need to hear and speaking to them maybe at their level. And gosh, it is just so exciting to see them win. And then because we were talking about other upcoming games too from other teams, so the Eagles have in the next 11 weeks, the Eagles have 7 winning teams that they're up against. So other teams that are actually, putting up points for our newer fans, trying to make it easy to understand. So they are up against 7 other teams that are substantial that could actually, possibly beat them, pull it out.
Yeah.
So they have some work ahead of them. The Niners have 6, which, again, have 6 winning teams. They got to try to maneuver. The Lions have 2.
Yeah.
2. So based on their schedule, and I'm not saying this about their ability or anything like that, but just based on their schedule alone, over the next 11 weeks, I just feel like playoffs are locked in. I just feel like it's again, I'm not saying because they are so amazing. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Well, no, the Eagles,
listen,
and I just have a lot of work ahead
the
of them.
Lions are a legit team, and we're not. I'm not going to take that from them. But their last playoff that they lost was actually in 2017 against Seattle. The last time they won a playoff was in 1992, I think, and they actually beat Dallas.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a long stretch for Detroit fans. And again, I'm always like all about the underdog.
Yes.
So I like seeing this.
Yeah.
I like seeing Detroit. By the way, a lot of people know the Detroit Lions have never, ever made it to the Super Bowl. Never. In fact, there's 3 other teams. So there's 4 teams that have never made it. And that's the Jags, the Browns, the Lions, and the Texans.
Yeah.
So I just think, to see them, come out the way they are coming out with Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
I like it.
exciting, right?
There's another little chippy thing going on. What is his name? I forget his name. He's on the Detroit Lions, and he got into it with Deebo Samuel of the Niners. Did you guys see that? They're like going at it again, grown men on Twitter.
When? Oh,
on
Twitter.
X or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening there?
I don't know.
Oh,
I hate social media.
yeah, I want to. I can't. I saw some memes going back and forth, but
Uh-huh.
like, literally, kind of like calling him as you better make sure. The guy from the Panthers was like, you better. No, I mean the Lions said to Debo, like, you better make sure I don't see you on or off the field. And I'm like, bro, what
All
is
right.
like? It's crazy.
Relax.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, listen, you have the Detroit, you have Eagles, you have the Niners, you have KC. Those are the biggest,
Powerhouses.
the
right now.
powerhouses right now. But don't forget about Miami.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Panthers fans, you can't buy a win. You have the coolest jerseys in the NFL.
They do.
And you can't buy a
They
win.
do.
They came out, they scored first. Everyone was like, oh, it's 14-0. It's 14-0. Here we go. Something cool is going to happen. And then what happens again? Bryce Young, I think as an organization, it's time to say, did we make the right choice putting this rookie in?
Yes.
Because one, are we putting too much on him?
Mhm.
2, are we hurting his future chances? Okay.
Right.
But you're going up against the Dolphins. I mean, Mostert, I think, had 3 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, another crushing game, doing a backflip, taking someone's phone. I mean, it was a massacre at the end.
It was
a massacre.
It was. But I mean, just to contrast that, CJ Stroud is killing it this year as a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
And they are both in the draft together. They
Yeah.
were top contenders for the #1 draft pick. So to see CJ Stroud.
Remember that drama?
Yes. So to see CJ Stroud coming up, the Texans pulling it out. They haven't been perfect and they've had their moments, but overall being so successful, and then to see his counterpart kind of not have that rhythm, let's just say, at this point in time, it's tough. It's hard.
I mean,
unexpected.
And the Panthers are the only team that have not one win. Not one win.
But I don't
That's
think
rough.
Bryce has the offensive line that he needs either. He's getting hit a lot. He's getting hit often too. And I feel so bad for that team right now. You know, I mean, when they got rid of McCaffrey and they did all that to get, to Bryce, I don't think they thought it would be this bad.
Mhm.
But again, Miami is just clicking on all cylinders. They have so many targets.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
know?
again,
Yeah.
I got to talk about Mike McDaniel. I
Yes.
just
It's your
love that guy. Like, again, comes from the Niners. Hey, he was our offensive guy. I hated to see him go, but
Yeah.
it's fair that when you're doing a really good job that you get a chance to be your own head coach. Although I don't like it when they leave my team.
Yeah.
We have a lot of great coaches that have gone to other teams and done really well. But Mike McDaniels is, like I keep talking about, like, he's a vibe. His press conferences are everything. The guy has like a swag about him. He looks like, I always brought this up, he looked like Pete Davidson when he was younger. He was a ball boy for the Broncos. I love his story. But more importantly, because you guys know I'm a sneakerhead,
Oh yeah.
he was wearing like off-white Air Force Ones on the sidelines.
Wow.
That's sexy.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love me some Mike McDaniels. And
yeah, he's a vibe. He's a whole vibe.
I heard above his desk at work, he has 2 things: a picture of his family and then a Post-it card. And I think with the number 858, and that's supposed to be how many days he sat outside of the NFL trying to get back in. And he likes to remember that. And he looks at that number. I might be wrong on the number, but it's 8 something. But he likes to look at it and it's just the number. And he
I
reminds
love
himself,
that.
like, this is how long I had to be outside the NFL. Nobody wanted me.
I
But I'm back and I'm here, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like the Eric Spoelstra of the NFL, I love that.
I love
I like him a lot. He's got swag.
Yeah.
did you see Tyreek
relatable.
Hill's flip?
No.
Yeah, I just said that. Monica, I feel like you're not listening to me talk
I'm sorry.
today.
I someone was coming and I didn't know that's what I missed
Yeah,
that.
he ran over, took someone's phone and did a backflip.
Oh, the backflip. Sorry.
Yeah,
yes, the
did you
backflip.
say that actually?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I
It's all right,
blanked
girl.
out. I blanked out. We have a guest coming, so
Oh,
I wasn't sure. My bad. But yeah. So Miami.
I know.
Now I know there's not a lot of talk about this team, but we do. I feel like we need to talk about the Ravens and the Titans.
Okay.
They were in London,
Yeah.
and those 6:30 games. I get up early. Listen,
I know.
I get up at 4:30, but on a Sunday I would like to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I am like 6:30, and I was already locked in to the Ravens and the Titans game. I love being in London, but
And who is your pick in the pick'ems?
who do you think?
Did you Tennessee? Because it's your.
I went back and
former-
forth again. That was one of the, and I,
Yes.
of course,
And you ended up on Tennessee.
I wanted the Ravens and I picked the Titans
Of
again.
course.
I can't get, I'm over it. I'm so over my pick'ems. And by the way, if you haven't downloaded the app, you have to download the app.
Yes.
We have the
Wow.
pick'ems. By the way, you guys, we have breaking news now. Like
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
literally legit. So like now, I mean, everything you could ever want in football
Yep.
is all in one app.
Yeah.
Literally breaking news, quizzes, pick'ems, a sexy glossary. If you don't
Yes.
know what the words mean, our
Yeah.
full podcast.
Yes.
God, you could pick the color of your own team.
yes.
I mean, so make sure you go download that.
Yeah.
And then you can see the
Education.
leaderboard and you'll see that. So Nas, you went up.
I'm gonna check this week. Actually, I dropped my phone. Basito, can you hand me my phone? We're gonna check that.
No, I
later.
got you.
But
Don't.
no, we're gonna check it later. We're gonna check it later.
Don't
but
try
here's what
to-
I want to talk about with the New England game. Okay.
No,
I mean, not New
the
England,
Ravens.
Sorry, the Ravens. I said New England because they were in England, across the pond. Lamar Jackson has, he's a traditional running quarterback, but he's gotten so comfortable out of that pocket that I really think he's trying to move over into a throwing quarterback position.
Yeah.
He can do both, but I think what makes him such a good quarterback is he has that running ability that's huge in the red zone.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see him go too far from that. But, it's smart for him. He's very comfortable throwing the deep ball now. But the thing that I don't get about these teams is, haven't they learned, go early if you're going
Across-
overseas? You're
Yeah.
changing like 5 time zones. So
Right.
what's the reason? What was the reason, Tennessee?
She gets so upset.
I know.
because it's
I
so
She gets
dumb
so
to me.
upset.
Passion.
Like, what is it about the money, Tennessee? But I
Yeah.
hear a lot of coaches are like, well, I don't want to go because it's giving my players too many distractions. So what I hear is you don't trust your team
yeah.
to want to win.
Yeah.
Whereas the team like the Ravens, who went a week earlier, had a week to go do their sightseeing stuff and whatever,
Totally.
got their bodies acclimated.
Yeah.
And the Titans looked like a team in the third quarter that they were like, what time is this right now? My body doesn't know what time this
Yeah.
is. Because they showed up, I think it was Friday, for
Yeah.
a Sunday game.
I go back to the game, the previous game, the London game, which was the Bills and the Jags. And I, again,
Mhm.
was like, I forgot that the Jaguars were already there.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, maybe the jet lag's not that bad. Wrong.
Wrong.
Bad.
Wrong. It's bad. It's bad.
5 time zones, I think. That's a
Well,
lot.
but I always look at it like hours. I think, oh, they're just going to sleep for 16 hours and then be there. But apparently it just doesn't,
No.
it is a thing. So we'll have to watch out for that. I would agree with you that, how many days should they be there before the game?
There has to be like a scientific study.
I'm sure
Right?
there is.
Like
we'll have
within
to me,
4 days.
If you got a game on Sunday, get there on Monday. And I think that's what the Ravens did.
Yeah.
I do think that's what they did.
Well, don't forget though, you don't want to leave them over there too long either.
No, I don't believe in that. You know what? If you're a professional ball player and you're serious about being a professional ball player, you're playing to win.
It doesn't matter. You are playing to win, but it's London. Like you're gonna want to go out. Like
of course they do.
I especially these guys are young. Like it's like you definitely want to don't do this in Vegas. Like you want to get when you go to Vegas, you're like, let's just get them there
Yeah.
like an hour before
Super
the game.
Bowl, aka
Right?
Super Bowl,
The Super Bowl,
aka
you know what I
Super
mean?
Bowl.
Like you don't want to like give them too much time
Hour
in
before
Vegas.
game time, they're just coming.
That's what's funny is like you won't give them any time in Vegas, but you'll give them a week in London.
It's a different country. you guys,
You act like
don't
there's-
even compare the two.
No, but you act like there's. I'm just saying you could.
I think Monday's fair. Monday for a Sunday game.
Yeah.
Monday's
That's a long time.
Well, Monday's a wash. You just get there. You
Hey,
just
these
get
guys
there and
don't
check
want to
in.
be there for 5 days with nothing to do. I
It's
don't
true.
think so. I really don't. These are
It's
grown
true.
people. A lot of these guys have families and kids.
And they bring them. They all take them.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Make it a sightseeing experience.
Well, we'll have to. we're gonna have to go down the rabbit hole on that. Like,
let's do that
let's
one.
do
We're gonna
that.
go down that.
All right,
hole
what
on
else?
That one.
well, the Rams.
Finally won at home. They finally
Lord.
won at home.
I don't even think they've been on our board for a while
No.
because we forgot about them. And where are all the Rams fans? Like we have followers that are Rams fans and they're
I
quiet.
know,
They're
I
quiet.
know. Give us a comment. Let
Like
us
I want
know.
to hear from the Rams
Shout 'em out.
fans. But are they going to go anywhere this year? Really?
I think we're going to see a different Rams team now that you've got Cooper Kupp back and Puka Nacua. It's going to be offensively a different monster. It's too soon for me. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not smart enough to know what's going to happen. But,
But it may make it fun to watch. Those two alone make
yeah,
it fun to
they
watch.
do. God, you
because
just love
otherwise,
seeing Puka do good.
Yeah.
He calls his mom after the game.
I know.
Love him.
You seen his girlfriend? She is so beautiful.
I love
No,
it.
is she?
Oh, she's beautiful.
Have they what's her
Absolutely
story? Do you
gorgeous.
know?
I don't know.
I haven't
but
seen
she's beautiful.
I want to
Aw.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Figure that out for
I
me
will.
next
I'll
week.
go down. Okay, I'll stalk her
Get
on
down that
Instagram.
rabbit hole.
He's so adorable.
Yes. Yeah.
Pinch him.
But
Yeah.
so wait, are we going to really have like Cooper and what's his name again?
Puka Nacua.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot.
They were running with both of them.
They were.
I mean, which was surprising to me because we've talked about, the running back position and its devalue, but they ran plays with the both of them. It was more like that this week for them. I don't know. I think it'd be stupid to not utilize both of them.
Yeah.
Those
Speaking of utilize both of them, I mean, what are the chances that we're going to have Debo and CMC back? Any thought on that?
Oh,
I haven't, up until this
I know, I
moment, I haven't heard a thing.
me either. I'm not up to date.
And
on,
then
like,
who else is getting an
what?
MRI today? Jimmy G.
Justin Fields is getting some stuff done today. Tannehill, I think everyone, it's like a busy day for the MRI machines
Yeah.
in the United States.
Which is not good. I mean, we don't want to see
No.
people hurt, but this is the time when sadly there's going to be injuries that could change a season.
Yes.
And what have we been saying?
Yes.
Hashtag
If we stay healthy.
if we stay healthy. And right now, well, by the way, did you guys see what happened to the guy on the Bills?
No.
You guys
No.
didn't see?
No.
Oh
That
my
was a close
God.
game, though. What did I miss?
So first of all, I don't like this. I like all my games on DirecTV. I will have to say that. But now that they're on YouTube and you have to see, like, you can watch 3 or 4 games at once, which I do, but it's difficult,
I don't
right?
like
Because you
that.
can only have audio on one. But all of a sudden I was watching one game and then I see an ambulance on the field. And I look and I'm like, whoa. And it's for the Buffalo Bills. So it was just like a flashback to what happened with DeMar.
Yes.
Did you see the back of the ambulance?
Yeah, no,
It
it
had
was
DeMar's number on it in the windows. I don't know. It
Really? I didn't catch
go back
that.
And, yeah, if we can pull
That
that
gave
up.
me
Like,
goosebumps. Okay.
they had 3 in the
okay.
windows, which I thought was a little.
That's a little odd.
Odd.
But they did cut to DeMar.
Yeah.
By the way, for some people that might not know, DeMar Hamlin went down last year. Was it a Monday night game? Was it Monday night or a Thursday night game? It was
I
a
don't
prime
remember.
game. It was a prime night game. I'm pretty sure it was a Monday night because I was traveling and I had just actually started. Just started Football Sexy, and I had texted one of my girls, Haley, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be traveling. I will be there to watch the Monday night game, but I'll probably miss the first couple quarters. You know, be on alert. I always like to be on alert if there's like any break." I didn't think anything was going to happen, and all of a sudden, by the time I landed, it was like, oh my God, Monica, DeMar Hamlin, like the guy literally almost died on the field.
Cardiac arrest.
Dude,
Yeah,
Unresponsive.
cardiac arrest.
it was.
unresponsive.
I've never seen anything like that.
No.
I had chills. I think everybody. I know we're going back in time, but I know that everybody like had. They were just holding their breath. It was one of those moments that in the NFL that we'll never forget. And the good news is DeMar is back.
Yeah.
He did play. He did not play. He did not suit up this game, but he had
It was
played.
like a miracle that he came back.
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
miracle that he
Not
came
only
back.
that he
was
lived,
healthy. Yes.
but that he could actually play.
Yes, that he got cleared, medically cleared to play. All of that was just
Well, if you remember at the ESPYs, I love that he came out and he thanked the entire
Yeah.
training staff,
Emotional,
and I was
such
just
an
bawling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you saw this emotion. Like, this is a man that came back from the dead.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I apologize. I don't remember this gentleman's name, but they did take him on, and I'll have to look into that. I didn't see anything this morning on it, so I'm hoping he's okay because I didn't see
Yeah.
anything on it. So maybe,
Absolutely.
no news is good news. But I mean, as far as the rest of the league,
lots of injuries, lots of things to follow up on that will affect.
This is the hurt week, man. We're at week 6.
Yeah.
This is like you guys said, like it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
so we'll be here after next Monday.
Yeah.
I know you like the Vikings.
Yes.
I know you like Kirk Cousins. Do we think that Kurt will end up with the Jets? Do you think he's going to stay in Minnesota for the rest of the year? Because the thought process is the Vikings aren't going to go anywhere. They're not good.
Right.
Kirk only has one more year left. Do you get rid of him now and try to get as much for him as you can?
Yes.
Give him to the Jets because Aaron and the ayahuasca might not happen. Or do you let Zach Wilson run your team and see how it plays out?
I don't think New York can afford him. If you look at it, Aaron already took and manipulated his contract in a way to defer his money so he could get bigger names there. I just don't think they can afford him. And I think they're really putting all their eggs in this Aaron Rodgers basket. So I don't think he'll go there.
Yeah.
I know. And the Vikings, it's so hard. They're 2-4 right now. They barely won that last game. It was only because there was an interception and they picked the ball and ended up running it for a touchdown. But they're hurting, and it's hard. It's hard to watch, and it's hard to see. And I think him leaving the Vikings would be the best. But again, unless it's the Jets, I don't know where else he would go. And I totally agree. I don't think that there's the funding there. I don't think that there's the Coles cash, as we like to say, for him, because we know he loves his Coles. If you watch Hard Knocks, you get it. But yeah,
she's the only one that was all about the Hard Knocks.
I love that.
I didn't get past
Oh my
episode
gosh.
3.
Was it
I
Hard
know.
Knocks or the quarterback thing?
Oh,
Netflix.
That one was the
Quarterback.
quarterback. That one
Yeah.
was the quarterback.
The
Yes.
Manning
yes.
production.
Thank you.
Yes.
The Manning
You know?
production. Yes.
And-
But yeah,
I'm already going to our
there's
app right
more
now.
to go with. I
Wait.
think he has more, but he needs to go somewhere else to deliver it.
Really?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was our favorite meme this week?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have this one. It was an AI generated meme of what would happen if the Detroit Lions won the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
And it was I mean, how you would think, like, the fans lighting everything on fire, throwing things in Lake Michigan.
It is Detroit. It is Detroit.
It was very Detroitish. Everyone had their shirts off. Like, it was hilarious. And I tagged Football Sexy, so you can find it on there. Monica
I didn't
can
see
repost
it. I did not see that.
I just posted it before we sat
Oh,
down.
okay, good. I didn't
just
see
tagged
that.
you.
Listen, if Detroit, you guys know I want to have our 6th ring, right?
Yes.
It's been like 25 years, since we've since we've
84
won the Super Bowl.
years.
We've been there, but we haven't won. So we don't have a problem getting to the Super Bowl. We have a
No.
problem with winning,
Yes.
which I would like to fix this year. But if Detroit got it, how could you not be happy for them?
It's like
How
a
could you
little
not be
brother.
happy for them?
Right.
You know, Eminem's got to come out.
Oh my.
You know, Eminem, and bring out all of the Motown. You know, Detroit is known for all the Motown
Lord.
music. Bring out the Supremes.
Yes.
Bring out Smokey. Let's get a little Eminem. I could see the halftime
it
show.
would be, right?
Except the problem is Usher is going to be there this year.
Oh, that's true.
Did we
And
talk
it's gonna
about
be in
that?
Vegas.
Were we happy about Usher being?
Oh, I know.
How do we
Did
feel
really
about?
talk
You don't
about
even.
that?
Do you even know who he is?
Yes, I know who Usher is.
The emo girl, which I still don't
know
know
who
what
Usher
emo is, but
Usher,
you know who Usher is? Okay,
this thing.
okay.
You know, I remember that dance. I mean, Usher's got a lot of bangers.
Oh.
Let's not kid ourselves. Usher's got a lot of bangers. I think he's universally liked. He's kept his nose fairly clean, other than that little TLC issue. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick. I mean,
It just
I mean,
drives
maybe
me
next
nuts
year it
that
might be
with
Taylor.
men, a lot of times there's one male performer, but they'll
Yeah.
make J-Lo share it with Shakira. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not that kind of stuff.
Oh, I've never looked at it that way.
I just kind of feel like
Remember the year there was all the
I
rappers?
didn't see that.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
You know,
that's
You know,
true.
Beyonce held it down.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
give
honestly
girl her own
think
show.
I don't know why that was because I can't imagine that J-Lo would be like, yeah, bring
Oh,
Shakira,
she was pissed. She talked about
and
it.
I'm sure Shakira didn't want. So
No.
I wonder why that went down.
They
We'll
just-
have to go down. I mean, we're going back in the past, but that's interesting.
Right?
But it was a great.
it was great.
It was a
They're
great.
both
It was a
legendary.
great
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Usher, I wonder if he'll bring somebody with him. Like who would?
Oh, he got to bring a
and
surprise for sure.
Usher,
He'll bring a
Usher,
surprise.
baby. Yeah,
T-Pain, I bet.
I'll be honest. I wasn't that excited.
I know. It felt.
I
like,
wasn't that excited. I mean, I like Usher, but like,
and
am
also
I gonna
feel
be like,
what's
you
the
know-
NFL's intention? Is their intention to bring non-football fans into a game they otherwise wouldn't watch, or are you trying to reiterate to the fan base? Because I feel like you're not bringing someone in that. I feel like most football fans already like Usher. Like I don't think it's.
well, I think you have to have a catalog. You have to have built up a catalog of
Yes.
music that's going to hold the world's, and I say the world's attention for 12 minutes.
Yes.
The world's attention, because this is like a global event. The Super Bowl is no joke. And I think too, like artists, you know, whether you sell out, whether you have millions of dollars or millions of fans or whatever, the Super Bowl is that thing where you're like, man, I made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's on
Like,
the list of like.
although for Taylor
accomplishments.
Swift, she's like,
Yeah.
don't
Might be
need it.
Taylor next year.
Don't need
She's
it. Don't
counting her
care.
money. She's like, I don't.
She's like,
my
oh,
briefcase is
maybe
heavy."
I'll think about
But
it.
half the time, artists pay for the Super Bowl show.
True.
Like, come out of pocket with their own money to do the Super Bowl show.
The Weeknd spent millions.
yeah, the
but
Weeknd
that was
like,
the
I'm gonna
worst.
do this the right way.
He should get his money back. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was literally
That was a bad
one of
one.
the worst ones in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a Weeknd fan, but like that was a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just gonna say it though. The best Super Bowl, Prince. Sorry. Singing Purple Rain in the rain in Miami. I think it was in 2007. If you haven't seen it, I don't care what fan of music, make sure you go download that. It was amazing. And he did covers. He did covers of the Foo Fighters. He did covers, and then he did Purple Rain, and it was just like,
Yeah.
to me, I don't think there could be a Super Bowl halftime show that will beat that one. They'll be close, but not that one.
That one was really good.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, pick'ems.
Woo, let's get into
God,
it.
I don't. Why? Why?
Monica's giving up on her own.
You know how I always say, why talk?
I
don't
moved up
talk.
to number 8.
I'm literally telling myself, don't pick. Don't
Okay,
pick.
so if you do not
Don't
have the
pick.
Football is Sexy app, this is when you're going to go to your phone right now and you're going to download it in the App Store. It is free. It's going to cost you nothing. And then you are going to, once you open it, you're going to go to the very bottom where it says Pick'ems, okay? And it's going to pre-populate all the upcoming games for you. And then you just get to literally pick who who you think will win. It will keep track of the points for you. And then there's a handy dandy leaderboard that has everybody
Top
who's
100.
been-
Top
Yes.
100.
Sanaz
since
is
the
number
beginning.
8.
Sanaz.
on that
Sanaz
leaderboard.
is number
Killing it.
8.
Okay, so take notes on who she suggests.
But what?
because-
got
Wait
11
a minute.
right last
By the
week.
way, it says congratulations. I'm a Pro Bowler, so I didn't do as bad as I thought.
Okay.
Oh,
But let's give a shout out to our follower, right?
Yes.
Stephanie Cornell.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. She has been on the top number 1. That like she only was off a couple times. She's back to number 1, and she's got 64 wins this year, and she just happens to be a 49er fan.
Bravo.
And how do we know
girlfriend.
that? Is because you get to pick your team, and the colors in your app will change with the
Yeah.
color of your team.
She's in our comments. She's commented on the page.
We found her. She
Yes.
finally she messaged she commented on one of our posts, and she's like, "Hey, I'm her." And we're like, "There you are. We've been looking for you." And I'm going to say this right now. We want you on our podcast. We will work this out. I want to know how you pick these winners, so next year I can, be in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Give us your
So
pointers.
we want to know your pointers,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we have Sanaz who's killing it too. So
Absolutely. Top
I'm just
10
going to go with
again.
what you say.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Okay, we got Jacksonville Jaguars at New Orleans Saints.
Oh my gosh.
New Orleans.
New Orleans is my first thought, but I keep
See,
thinking.
this is a
should I
problem.
do the underdog?
Here's the problem.
Like, do I go for who I don't think?
I'm not even looking at home field advantage anymore because it's completely screwing me up.
But I will say Detroit Lions, obviously, over the Baltimore Ravens.
Wait, you didn't pick Saints or Jags?
Saints.
Okay.
Detroit Lions over at the Baltimore Ravens.
Lions.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Fighting
Home
words.
field.
No, I'm going Detroit.
Okay, good. Las Vegas Raiders at Chicago Bears.
Oh, Raiders. Poor
With
Bears.
Hoyer?
but-
Yeah. Well, we'll
And
see.
Justin Fields, holy
He's
wow.
hurt too.
Is he?
Yeah.
But he's not going to come back?
I don't know. He was one of the quarterbacks that I said was hurt. So
we
we'll
don't
see.
know anything yet about either
Wait,
of
wait.
those.
So who are we going to pick?
I'm going Raiders.
Okay, I'm going to go with Raiders because Sanaz is going with
I
Raiders.
got Raiders. 'cause
I'm
the Bears are
gonna
that bad.
I'm gonna ride on your coattails. I have no problem.
Browns at Colts. Browns.
Browns.
So many injuries.
Browns.
Buffalo Bills at New England Patriots.
Oh God!
Oh.
If the Patriots beat the Bills, I'm done.
That would be
No.
something.
I'm done.
No,
I think
it'll
Belichick-
go.
I'm done.
Belichick would do a cartwheel down the field
Dude.
if they won.
I almost want it to happen just so we have something to talk about.
I know.
I do, but
Right.
I'll go with the Bills.
Okay.
Commanders at Giants. I'm going Commanders.
I'm going
Ron Rivera, I still
Commanders.
love you.
The New York teams, I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of faith in them
Yeah.
right now.
Falcons at Tampa Bay. A battle of the suck.
I mean,
A good,
I'm gonna
bad
go with.
game?
I mean, Baker lost this week, so
Yeah.
I'm. Well, you're the one. What do you think?
You're the one.
See, I always go back to
Okay,
like.
I'm going
Tampa?
Falcons. I'm going
Tampa Bay.
Falcons.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that.
All right.
Steelers at Rams.
Steelers.
By
I
the
go
way,
Rams.
I want to give Melissa her flowers. 2 weeks ago, when we were up here talking about the pick'ems, and it was the Ravens and the Steelers, and she quietly said Steelers, and we're like, no, Ravens.
Yeah, no, she got that.
And she was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna pick the Steelers, and guess who won? The Steelers. I'm giving you your
J.J.
flowers.
Watt. Thank you,
Okay.
girlfriend. Thank you.
All
Yeah, J.J.
right.
Watt,
Let's-
he's just-
we'll wrap this up.
All right.
Cardinals at Seahawks. I'm going with Seahawks.
Wait, did you pick the Steelers or the Rams?
I picked the Rams.
Okay.
Cardinals at Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks.
I'm going
This
Seahawks.
is-
They beat the Lions, so
This will be the time where she tanks.
yeah.
I'm
Maybe.
following her lead, and then she's gonna tank.
Maybe.
It's gonna
They
happen.
take you on purpose, I think.
So
I'm
wait,
just kidding.
you guys went Seattle. All right.
Green Bay Packers at Denver Broncos.
Packers.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
just ugly all
Broncos are
around.
I can't.
Jordan
right
Love
now.
better come through.
I-
Jordan
right?
Love has got to. We haven't even
Right?
talked about the Packers, but I hope
on.
they got to get
Come
together.
on.
Okay,
Chargers at Chiefs.
Oh, the Chargers and the
Ooh,
Chiefs,
Mahomes and Herbert.
dude. Chiefs.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. Chiefs
Sorry,
too.
I do not see.
it's-
I do not see Justin Herbert and company beating Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey in Kansas
It's
City.
Picking the
Only 'cause, like
Chargers
you
just
said-
to be difficult.
Well, you
I'm
got to
picking the
stand up for your
Chargers.
team.
Yeah,
You
stand
gotta
up
stand
for
by
your
I'm not
team.
betting on him. But
Now
I'm
I
picking
love Keenan Allen. We like.
Yeah, we love him.
But I just don't. That would be a major upset to me.
Then we got Miami at the Eagles. I'm still going with Miami. But it's a cold weather game, so we'll see. I'm going with
Ooh,
Miami, though.
it's True. Yeah. I had Miami on lock, but that's a good point.
Keep
That's
it
a
in
good
mind.
point. I didn't
You know?
I don't
consider that.
know. See, this is why she wins. As I second guess, I'm like, no, but Jalen Hurts has to win, and he's playing at home.
Right.
So they have the tush push going on,
He's gonna redeem himself,
right? By the
Yeah.
way, did you see the tush push that Dallas tried to do Monday night?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, don't do that
Hilarious.
again. Listen to me. Don't do the tush push again. Dak, don't do it. It was bad. It was a little
Dak.
embarrassing. Okay.
Lastly, we got the 49ers at Minnesota.
We got to come back.
On Monday
Niners.
Night Football.
And look, it says, good luck. Your picks are in.
All right, and that's how you know you're locked in. And we'll see you on the leaderboard, and we'll talk about it next week.
We're locked in.
We're locked in, guys.
Does that
Feel
cover
good?
it?
That
I
covers
think
it.
that covers. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep it sexy.